guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my current Faves and Nays Drugstore Foundations edition, and I've already done my drugstore concealers, so if you want to check that out, it will be linked in the description box. But whatever you want to see next, whether it be mascaras, liners, eyeshadows, whatever, leave it down below and I will definitely get to it. So today is all about the foundations. I have 7 here to share with you, and I feel like 7 really isn't that much, but I will be updating this video, so every now and then I'll have another current Faves and Nays drugstore foundation video, but it'll have totally different foundations. Do you guys get me? But starting off, I have 2 by Revlon, and they're probably my top. They're like my number ones. The first one is the Revlon Colorstay liquid version, and I'm in the color 200 Nude, and you really can't find this shade everywhere. I can only buy this at Ulta or like Walgreens and CVS. Target doesn't have this shade. It's so weird. But it's a really good foundation. This is the normal to dry skin version. They also have an oily skin version. I feel like even if you do have oily skin, you can definitely get away with wearing this because it's just so matte. It's crazy. And considering how matte it is, it doesn't cling on to my dry patches, which is kind of crazy. But it really doesn't. It looks really nice. You can do a light layer of this for just a light coverage, or if you have a lot to cover up, you can definitely do a full coverage foundation routine using this. Looks really nice, and it will stay on all day. It lasts for a really, really long time. Not sure if it will last 24 hours, but it will last through your 8-hour, 9-hour work day, which is awesome. It does have a little bit of a weird scent, but when you apply it and you let it sink in, the scent kind of goes away, but it is kind of weird, to be honest. I apply this with my beauty blender. I just feel like it looks so much better with my beauty blender, and the foundations last longer with the sponge. Not beauty blender, I'm sorry. The Real Technique sponge. Whatever. It's all the same thing, really. And then the Revlon Colorstay Whipped, I actually started using this before the liquid version, and I really, really like it. It's like one of my all-time favorites. It does give more of a satin finish. It's not dewy by any means. It's just not as matte as the liquid version. Doesn't last as long as the liquid version either, but doesn't cling on to my dry patches. It's just really pretty, and the longer that I wear it, it just looks better. So I'll put it on, and then 2 hours later, it'll look even better, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. But I'm in the shade Natural Beige. I'm in the shade Natural Beige 240. I love this foundation. It's so pretty. You can do a light coverage just like with the liquid one, or you can do full coverage. Well, this is like medium to full. It's more on the medium side, but it's still an awesome foundation. It's great for every day. Feels nice. Doesn't feel heavy on my skin whatsoever. So both of these are faves for sure. I love them so much. The next foundation I have is Maybelline's Fit Me, and I'm in the color 120. This is the only foundation that has my absolute perfect shade, so I really like this. This is actually my current favorite foundation right now. I've been using it for several weeks, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it, so obviously this is a fave for me. It doesn't give super full coverage. It's more on the light to medium side, but it gives a very satin finish, and as you continue to wear it throughout the day, it gets more dewy. So this is a perfect foundation for those of us who have dry skin. If you have oily skin, I really don't think you would like this at all. I think it would kind of just slide right off your face after maybe 3 hours. But great for dry skin. It gives really nice coverage. Like, I have some acne issues happening, and it doesn't cover them fully, but it just kind of gives more of like just more of a natural finish. I really like it, and it does kind of have a smell too, but that goes away really quickly as well. This hasn't broken me out, which is awesome. Almost forgot, this isn't a very long-lasting foundation. I mean, it will last a little bit longer if you use a primer and you set it. I don't use primers, I just set my foundation, and it lasts for like 5 to 6 hours. If I'm having a really long day, I probably wouldn't use this foundation. It's a really, really pretty foundation, so if you have dry skin, definitely try this out. I promise you will like it. Next up, I have the Sonia Kashuk Perfecting Luminous Foundation. I'm in the color Creme 03, and number 1, I absolutely love this packaging. It's like a hard kind of plastic, and then you open this guy up and you have a pump. And to be honest, I'm not really picky when it comes to pumps and no pumps. I know a lot of people, they're like, I have to have a pump. I don't care if I don't have a pump, like with my Maybelline Fit Me, I'll just open it up, shake it up, and then dot it on my face. I know that's probably not the most sanitary, but it works for me, so I really can't complain. I think a lot of people would like the packaging, so that's why I wanted to mention it, but as far as the actual product, I don't like it at all. I have really dry skin, so when I see like Luminous foundations, I kind of drift towards those because I do want like a dewy glow, but this one was just like way too luminous. It was like I looked greasy and oily, and I don't like that whatsoever. I would rather look really, really matte than really, really oily. It's not a foundation that I would repurchase. I don't really like it that much, and I don't know. I was really disappointed. I do like Sonia Kashuk a lot, but this just wasn't my cup of tea. So even if you do have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend this. Oily skin, don't even look at it. Next up, I have CoverGirl's Outlast 3-in-1 foundation, and this is definitely a fave. I don't use this foundation all the time because it is very matte, it's full coverage, and it lasts for a really long time. Right now, I have really dry skin, and this will cling on to my dry patches, so I only use this when my skin is pretty normal. It will, like, if my skin's really dry and I use it, it will just accentuate all the dryness right under here, and like if I have any blemishes and they're kind of flaking, I know it's gross, it will like cling on and make it look disgusting. But awesome coverage. It seriously makes my face look flawless. If you have oily skin, I think this should be your like go-to foundation because it will last all day and it's a very, very matte. You don't even have to set this with a powder. If you have dry skin, you can kind of just put it on and walk out the door. If you have oily skin, I always say set with a powder, but this is awesome. Like I said, right now I'm not going to use it just because my skin's kind of dry, but when my skin gets back to normal, I will use this, especially if I'm having like an 8-hour or 9-hour day. This is definitely a go-to. And I'm in the shade 810 Classic Ivory. Great foundation. I totally recommend it to everyone except if you have really dry skin. On to another nay. This is L'Oreal's True Match Lumi. It's the Healthy Luminous Makeup. This is the shade N12 Soft Ivory, and I feel like this should be a shock because it's a luminous makeup. I have dry skin. Like, this should be my best friend, but I actually don't like it at all. It doesn't give any coverage for me, and I don't have like a little bit to cover up, but I don't have a ton of stuff to cover up either. I have just some acne scars, some blemishes, and this did not do the job whatsoever. By the 5th hour, it was totally gone off my face. It didn't do anything for me, and I was really disappointed because I've heard awesome things about this. I mean, it has a pump, which is nice, but it just didn't last very long, didn't give me any coverage. If you have dry skin and you just want something to even out your skin tone, maybe you would like this. I mean, it's not going to last all day, but maybe you can give it a shot. It just wasn't for me, but I do have L'Oreal's True Match, the regular version, which I do absolutely love. It's definitely a fave, and I started using this before the Lumi, and I was really disappointed because I was like, I love this one. Why doesn't this one work for me? But I'm in the shade Natural Buff N3, and the one thing that I hate about these L'Oreal foundations, they have the neutral line, they have a cool line, and a warm line. It's like your undertones, but I can't find a shade that matches me at all. Like, this is Neutral N3 Natural Buff. I think I already said that. It's just a tad bit too dark, but the one before this is just way too light, so it's like, really? It sucks. But this is an awesome, awesome foundation. It gives a really nice satin finish. Well, I just spit everywhere. It kind of starts off matte when you put it on, and then it kind of gets satiny. I absolutely love it. It makes my face look flawless, and it doesn't cling on to my dry patches, which is awesome. It just looks really nice, and it gives a natural finish too. You could build this up to full coverage. I think you would look a little cakey, but it's doable. This doesn't last very long whatsoever either. It probably lasts the same amount of time as the Maybelline Fit Me, 5-6 hours. It gives good coverage though. I think this will work out for you even if you're dry, even if you're oily. I think it's pretty good for all skin types. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful. The faves that I mentioned are foundations that I really like, that I have or will repurchase, and the nays were just foundations that did not work out for me. I will not repurchase, and I probably will throw them out like right after this video. But thank you guys so much for watching as always. Let me know what you want to see next as far as the current faves and nays videos go, and I will see you in my next one. Have an awesome day.